So, it looks like yet again they are about to do another biopic about one of our icons, and that is none other than the late, great Whitney Elizabeth Houston, also known as The Voice. Probably one of the most captivating voices of our time, probably one of the best vocalists to ever pick up a microphone and lend us their gift of singing. It's just amazing of what her voice can do or what it could do. I remember where I was when I found out that she had passed. I was at home and the first person I called was my mother. And this was back in 2012. So I was about 22 when it happened. I was turning 23. So it was a major shock to the world. And it's crazy how it's been over 10 years since we lost this vocal powerhouse. We will never, ever have another voice like Whitney Houston again in this lifetime. I truly believe and I stand firmly on that. So with that being said, they have now announced that there's going to be a biopic that will be done on Whitney Houston. Now, let me just also insert that there have already been a biopic that was done on her. There was one that came on Lifetime a few years ago. Then they had a couple of documentaries that they did about Whitney Houston. They even had her inside of the Bobby Brown story that aired on BET. And a couple of other things as well. They even made some reality shows, surrounding her family, with Bobby Christina, who, unfortunately, she lost her life shortly after her mother. It's just crazy, like the craziness behind it. But I'm not going to go dig deep into that rabbit hole. And some other things. They even tried to do a hologram thing. I don't know if they actually did it, but I know they were trying to do a hologram of Whitney Houston. But I don't vibe well with that hologram thing, especially after that one they did with Michael Jackson. But now they have come up with a biopic that's coming out in December called I Want to Dance with Somebody, which of course is named or titled after one of Whitney Houston's biggest songs. Excuse me. And, when that track comes on, I don't know one black person or any person for that matter that does not move or get up and dance, because it's one of the best dance songs or dance tracks of the 80s, because you have a song that makes you move and you have an amazing voice to help guide you through the song. But they are coming out with this biopic. It's coming out in December, I believe December 11th. I actually saw the trailer for it yesterday. I'm recording this video on September 16th, 2022. I actually saw the trailer on TV when I was watching the premiere episodes for season 4 of Atlanta on FX. And I said, oh, this looks interesting. Let me check this out, because it's about Whitney Houston. Then I went online and I looked at the entire trailer. One of the things that stuck out to me was the fact that they are using her voice in the movie, and the actress who was playing her is going to be lip syncing, which I think would be the best idea for them to do if she cannot sing that well. And let's be real here, Whitney Houston's voice is pretty much unmatched. The only person singing Whitney songs like Whitney Houston was Whitney Houston. Let's just be real here. She was even doing people's covers better than a lot of artists were doing when it came to performing and to singing. But then I got on social media and I was looking at some of the comments, because, the trailer got online, and I have a lot of course, FBA followers. Now, mind you, I didn't know anything about this actress, but I went online and I saw some of the comments that people were leaving, especially FBA. They said, oh, as much as I would love to support this movie, I cannot watch it because they did not cast an FBA actress to portray Whitney Houston, who we know was FBA. And I was like, let me go ahead and do my research of this cast. Well, in particular, the actress who's playing Whitney Houston. So the actress who's portraying Whitney Houston, her name is Naomi Ackie. She is from London. She is a British born actress, from London. And she, they said that she got her start in the Rise of Skywalker movie, which I did not watch, because like I said in one of my other videos, The Last Jedi pretty much put the nail in the coffin for me. I was pretty much done with Star Wars after that. I was done with it. And then when I think about the previews that I saw for the Rise of Skywalker, I do remember her being there, and it's kind of hard not to catch her because outside of Finn, she was the only other black character or another black face that we saw in the movie. And it really wasn't hard to spot her because she was, as far as I saw, the only black female character that was in the movie. So it wasn't very hard for me to pinpoint or point out who she was when it came into that spectrum. So they found an actress to portray Whitney Houston, and I'll have to admit, and even some of the angles and some of the shots that I saw in the trailer, I see some similarities to Whitney, not completely. If anything, I think the actress that they cast to play her mother, Sissy Houston, looks spot on. I think that was very good casting, and I had to look up who she was, and she is an American-born actress, and I have seen her in some things before. I forgot what her name was, but I have seen her in something. Oh, I know where I saw her from. She was in Law and Order, and she used to work and she worked in the coroner's office. Well, not the coroner's office. She worked in the morgue. So for those of you who watch Law and Order, know exactly who I'm talking about. That's her. That's the woman playing Sissy Houston. I think that was good casting on that part because she looks just like Sissy Houston. But back to the main actress who's playing Whitney Houston. I have no clue of what her acting capabilities are. So I can't really gauge if she's going to be a good actress in this part, if she's going to nail Whitney's mannerisms, or all the way down to how she moved on stage and then combine it with having to lip sync, because I hope she's not trying to use her own voice. I don't care if she feels she can sing the phone book. She ain't singing like Whitney Houston. Let her sing over her track and let that be that. And it sounds like to me, based on the trailer, that's what's going to happen. So that's good in that aspect. But a lot of black people, especially a lot of black Americans, FBA, however you want to put it, are very upset that they went out and they casted a non-FBA British or London-born actress to portray an American icon. And that's something that has been happening for quite some time right now when it comes to these movies or these biopics about our heroes or our icons. The perfect example, of course, was getting Cynthia Erivo to portray Harriet Tubman in that movie Harriet that nobody went to go and support. And it's sad because Harriet Tubman is a hero and an icon in the black community, especially if you are a black American. Like, she's held in very, very high regard, especially with what she did to freeing her people or getting as many people of her people as free as she possibly could. And the militant attitude that she had in order to have to be able to do what she did, especially at a time where it was very, very risky for not only the people that she freed and helped, but also for herself. But that's just the type of person that she was. But they got Cynthia Erivo, who again is another British born actress, much like Naomi, to portray an American icon. And black people pretty much let them know we wasn't going to support it, especially after Cynthia had said some very disparaging things towards black people while you're portraying a black American figure. So we really didn't rock with her after that when she said that. See, the thing is, we probably, if she would have just kept her mouth shut and just been graceful about the whole thing, we may not have rocked with the movie, but then there could have been a possibility that somewhere down the line, it could have been a role that she did that we could have rocked with. But after she said that, we stopped and cut her off completely, no matter what movie she does or whatever the case may be. We just stopped dealing with her. So a lot of black people don't even watch anything with her in it, you know, so we just left it there. Another example would be David Oyelowo portraying Dr. King in the movie Selma. Of course, you know, that was directed by Ava DuVernay, and Dr. King, much like Cynthia Erivo and Naomi Ackie, he is from the UK. He is British born. And also I put the actress there who played his wife, whose name is Carmen Ejogo, she is also a British-born actress as well, and she played Coretta Scott King. So you had a double whammy with this one. You had two British-born actors playing FBA icons. So they got a 2-for-1 special with that one. Idris Elba, who we have held in high regard since his The Wire days, and we didn't even know he was a British-born actor because we always heard him speak with an American accent in many of his roles until we actually heard him in interviews and was like, wait a minute, this guy speaks with an accent that's not from here. And then we discovered that he was born, overseas. But we didn't hold that against Idris because he didn't speak ill of the community. So we held him in very high regard. And then, later on in the years, he started to do more roles where it allowed him to use his natural accent without having to Americanize the accent in any role that he did. So he was very selective about the roles that he would do. Now, of course, if he does, excuse me, a biopic of some sort, he will have to alter his voice because it's not guaranteed that whoever he's going to be portraying is going to be from Britain or from the UK or London, anywhere over in a European nation. Let's put it that way. But then even he recently has said some comments about British or Black British actors, or why can't they portray these American individuals or these American roles and whatnot. And a lot of Black Americans, a lot of FBA had pushed back against that as well. It's because Black people are often getting shunned, especially in the last couple of years, are getting shunned and pushed to the back in order to portray roles that could be designated for them. But they're going to these British-born actors, for the most part, to go and get these roles to portray where American-born actors, American-born Black actors could portray them. So they're getting pushed to the back, and roles that could have been set up for them are now being given to them because apparently, I guess the accent apparently makes them sound more classier, or they said that they're better trained, or a whole bunch of other excuses that they try to come up with besides the fact that they just don't want to cast a Black American in this role. But I think what makes this situation, when it comes to this Whitney biopic, I Want to Dance with Somebody, is because Whitney Houston was not born in the UK. Whitney Houston was not born in Britain. She was not born in London. She wasn't born in a European nation. She was born in New Jersey, which is in the United States of America. So people would have preferred that they would have gotten someone from here, and it didn't have to. We didn't have to minuscule it down to her. The actress having to be from New Jersey is not that deep. But if they could have gotten an American-born actress to portray Whitney Houston, the reception would be a whole lot better. Because what's interesting is that a lot of the cast that's around her, a lot of the supporting cast, because I went and looked up to see where they're from, a lot of them are from here. Now, I looked at one other person. I didn't catch his name. I believe the guy who's going to be portraying her dad, whose name is John Houston. I'm looking at that and I'm seeing he is from over where she's from. So now you have the main character, who was Whitney Houston, being portrayed by a London-based actress. And you're also going to have her dad, John Houston, who is also from America, of course, just like his daughter, who's portraying, is also from over there. So y'all see what I mean? And the thing is, when we as FBA call this out, we're seen as divisive. We're seen as being petty. We're saying, oh, let's just get over it. Oh, so we're saying is, oh, at least she's getting a movie. No, it's not. It's more to it than that. It's way more to it than that. We are trying to hold on to our culture, and it's literally being stripped away. You see what's going on with the whole hip hop situation, where you got Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes trying to say Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans help, create hip hop, and it's a bunch of different things. We are trying to hold on to as much of our culture as possible, especially considering over the years how much of our culture has been stripped away and taken away, and in some regards given away to other people for the highest bidder, sometimes for the lowest bidder, sometimes for the free. And that's really all it boils down to. This is no slight against the actress herself. Of course, if she comes out the side of her neck like Cynthia Erivo, we gonna have to clear the table. It just is what it is, because we not dealing with this go along to get along crap anymore. A lot of that is why we are in the situation we're in right now. So again, this has nothing to do with the actress herself. She's probably a very, very good actress. She may do very well in the role, but the principle of it is we would have preferred that a Black American born actress, whether well known or not, because she's not, to me, at a very household name. I've never, like I said, I didn't watch The Rise of Skywalker, so I wouldn't have known who she was until I saw it in her bio. But again, no issue with her as far as I know. Like I said, she's probably a very good actress. She's probably going to kill this role. Hopefully she does, considering that this is a very big role, considering who she's portraying. But at the same time, we as FBA would have preferred that a Black American born actress could have portrayed this role. That's really all it boils down to. That's the only thing we have an issue with. Now, to them trolls out there, because I know they might see this or whatever the case may be, they probably going to bring up The Little Mermaid. It's not the same thing. You're going to have to try a little bit harder. See, The Little Mermaid is a fictional character. Ariel, as a Little Mermaid, was not a real person. As far as I know, the original Little Mermaid, well, the Disney version, was an adaptation of the book. And in the book, she didn't look like anything how Disney made her. They had to clean her up a little bit. So don't come over here with that crap, because y'all can sit on your soapbox and complain about originality and sticking to the source material. Whitney Houston is source material, which means we would have preferred an American actress to portray her if we want to talk about it. And Whitney Houston, unlike Ariel in The Little Mermaid, is a real person. She actually lived on land, and we actually seen and heard her sing. And it's crazy when you think about it. The similarities is the only difference is Whitney Houston didn't live in the sea. But yeah, they're going to try that, but don't even try it. I just put that little disclaimer in there just in case you want to come over here and try to troll. Just in case. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video on that note. But before I give my closing, I'm going to ask my audience, ask my chat, my subscribers, if you could have picked an actress to portray Whitney Houston in the biopic, who would you select? And now, granted, because it sounds like they're going to have her lip syncing in the movie, she doesn't have to sing or know how to sing. Even if she knows how to sing, like I said before, they're not going to be as good or as great or as phenomenal as Whitney Houston. Let's just be honest with ourselves here. But who would you have selected to portray Whitney Houston in this particular role? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I upload my videos in a Premiere style format, which means if the notification bell is not working, you can click the notify me button in the bottom left or the bottom right corner of the thumbnail, and you should get the notification that way. The links will be down in the description. I'll talk to you in the next one.